Module 4. Sketching. Sketching is the basic element for an artist. Without sketching, you can't draw anything. With a good hand in sketching, you can visualize anything. Without sketching, your sense of visualization will always remain weak. I personally feel that 200 sketches are the minimum requirement in the initial stages. Unfortunately, I do not find many students with such dedication towards sketching. Students do not pay attention to fine-tuning themselves through traditional method of drawing on paper. Instead, they take up learning software and other digital tools, completely forgetting that the computer is a tool, it cannot think. Ironically, the people who created that software keep a good knowledge of drawing and sketching themselves. Funnily, the ones using the same software think that the knowledge of the software alone is enough for their drawing skill. By not sketching, we are missing the first step and starting with the second step of sitting in front of a screen and learning design software. Students good at sketching can enroll into animation, publishing house, multimedia or any such area of work. So you must sketch a minimum of 100 sketches in a day. You will see animation has a great scope in our country. It is a booming industry and a good career option for a student. To be a good animator, you must be very good with your sketches. With constant scribbling, you will see your line work and the strength or force in your lines improve drastically. You by now also recognize shapes and how they are forming various forms around. So it is time you progress to quick sketching of any form you see around you. A chair, a book, cups, vases, etc. You will be able to express yourself better as an artist if you are good at sketching. Before you pick any material to use for any creative expression on paper, it is a prerequisite for you to have strong line work. You will have to practice a lot to master the control over various mediums and methods of self-expressions. I will demonstrate how to sketch and various methods of sketching the same subject. Different styles of sketching. Apart from improving your drawing, sketching is a process of creative churning for your mind. It helps kickstart your process to creative ideation. The reason you will always find me on insisting you to draw and scribble. We have discussed in a lesson before how to scribble different kind of lines. So let's see how scribbles evolves to sketches. Let's begin with the form of the human figure. I am drawing a straight vertical line and divide it proportionately in a human figure. Proportions in a basic sketch are very important. From head to waist and further from waist to feet. Check your sketch if you have got the proportion correct. I am not entangling your brain in the complexity of measuring a human figure with a pencil or a stick. I first want your eyes to get trained to see correctly. At a later stage, we may incorporate the method of checking our sketch through measurement, rather creating the method as a clutch to draw the basic in the first place. You have to take care of the proportions and lines while sketching anything from head to waist and waist to toe. The human body can be considered as two major parts. My method is a little different. I teach my student to view the entire body in parts. You will notice that the entire human form is divided in 16 parts. 1, 2, 3 joints in the arm. 1, 2, 3 joints in the other arm. Similarly, you have got 1, 2, 3 joints in the leg, 3 on the other, neck, 2 shoulder joint and waist. Combining these 16 parts will give us a beautiful sketch of a human figure. Keeping these 16 joints in mind, I will draw another human figure sketch, showing another way of looking at the human form. Through this method, you will have the basic form of a human figure in place, in the correct proportions. I will build each part one by one, starting with the head, Moving on the neck, upper portion of the body, the entire torso with the hip, both the legs. Let's count these portions, drawing the arms at last. I will smooth the contours around the waist and torso to give it the shape of a human figure. Post this structural drawing, you will start drawing the clothes. Now you may dress up the figure in whatever clothes you like. We are not talking about detailed anatomical or muscles mass study at this point. I am using a charcoal stick for my drawings due to its smooth and supple quality. Whichever clothes you choose to dress the figure in, you have to take the basic essence of the figure, keeping in mind dark, light and shade, and the basic proportions of the entire figure. And each limb in relation to each other. Be careful with the basic sketch, the outlines and the 16 blocks that we just discussed. I will work on the other figure drawn here. I here decide to add an element to my sketch to define the character of the lady I have drawn. I will draw another human form, this time building the body block by block. Soft charcoal is the best medium for such drawings. The more you practice, the easier will it be for you to grasp the fundamentals of proportions and light and shade. Quick succession of lines to create the basic form that you see in front of you. Be conscious of not getting entangled in either capturing too many details or exploring perspective at this point. The purpose of sketching at this stage is to train your eyes, brain and hand form a strong connection in the process of seeing and interpreting. Remember to spray the affixative on the drawing to avoid smudging. Also put a date on the sketches. This practice will help you analyze your progress. I will take you through a quick revision of the 16 block division of the human form. First block is the head, second block for the neck, third block is the torso, followed by the hip and arms. An interesting fact to remember is that as a general guideline about proportions of the human body, our elbows are in the same line as the navel. It depends from which eye level do you decide to sketch the figure from. Whether your drawing is below the eye level, at the eye level or above the eye level decides how you will see the figures. From below the eye level, the legs will appear broader than the shoulders, and you will see the figure in a very different perspective. Let's consider that the following sketch is above the eye level. Make these sketchy drawing using soft charcoal sticks. To complete your sketch, place a horizon line on your drawing. Horizon line gives us an idea of the distance and a ground for the object you have drawn. For example, this sketch seems to be in air. It doesn't have a ground. Now I will place the horizon line slightly above her knees. Now looks grounded. A very interesting fact is that by simply shifting the horizon line, the distance between you and your subject will increase or decrease. The closer the horizon line is to the feet, the model will appear far. The further the line of horizon, the model will appear closer to your vision. Suppose I need another woman in the same drawing, but standing much behind this figure. If you want to expand this drawing further and add more people, do that in proportion to the main figure. For that, let's take the vanishing point starting as lines originating from the tip of the head and toe of the main figure, meeting at the horizon. We can now place more pupils in the sketch in this triangle. Understand the concept of vanishing point carefully. Every figure will fall within this triangle. The best method of practicing vanishing points is to draw boxes or squares. The horizon line creates distance. It is an important point to remember while sketching bust scene with a lot of people and building. I will smudge the sketch and draw an outline of the same woman. I am reducing the size of the sketch and creating it in different tonal variations, then using the charcoal stick like a pencil and drawing it in lines. This time, I will place her in a completely different environment. You have complete freedom to create anything. Feel free and let your imagination work to its best ability. I will place the horizon line and smudge the lines for softer edges. To give an atmosphere of a house, you may hang a painting in the background. I will change the atmosphere to an outdoor by shifting the horizon line behind and drawing a tree to the right. Look at this sketch of a human stick figure in action. Such a drawing is in two dimensions, where I will show you how to add movement to a line figure. You can move the standing figure to a running figure by changing the direction of the lines. I will cover the whole sheet with various sketches from imagination. You may attempt to draw the figure in stick forms before adding the mass of the muscles or claws. This exercise will strengthen your observation and knowledge of how movement takes place in a human body. You can add strength and body to the line figure by adding strength and height and width of the lines. You may use a pencil to sketch, but the lines are too thin, which is why I suggest you to use a charcoal stick. Try figure drawing in lines and then attempt getting the proportions by building blocks. It has taken me years of practice to add quick dimensions and body to a stick figure by few strokes. I know how and in what direction to move my charcoal stick to achieve the desired result. Do lot of sketches. A man sitting can be expressed in a few strokes. Similarly, a family sitting, you can see such strokes in old master paintings during the time of expression is. I will show how to draw the same thing in blocks, starting with the head, neck, a block for the chest, torso, and then adding hand and arms. Blocks are much easier, so begin the practice of sketching human figures however it suits you, but practice every day. Let's look at a quick sketch of a human face using dry soft charcoal. I am holding the charcoal stick horizontally, making broad strokes. I began my sketch by drawing the eyes and hairline first rather than drawing the basic oval shape of the face first. With a few quick strong strokes, I will draw the nose and lips before I move on to sketching the hair. The hair of the sketch is the element that defines its character the most. So I spend maximum time working on the hair. I will make some bold dark strokes by using the charcoal stick like one holds the pencil. Allow your hand to move freely and do not be scared. Do not fear that the drawing may go wrong. The pressure of the strokes and the movement of the charcoal stick in a certain direction will give us the required tonal variation. This requires experience. I can carry this as I know the basic oval shape of the head and proportions very well. Utilize the entire charcoal stick and expand the drawing to sketch the shoulders as well. I am adding some light, delicate strokes all around the edges of the face and shoulders to add movement and the face comes to life. I am drawing a sketch in gouache. The brush that I am using here is from my trip to China. It is a brush that helps me in building these shapes and strokes. The sketch is a result of a very different brush that I am using. These experiments can be done and you will learn a great deal. The only prerequisite required here is not fear or feel worried about the final result. Similarly, here is a sketch of a man by using the same brush. The light and shade is beautiful due to these strokes. I will make another sketch of a face using a normal hog ear brush with long bristles. A lot of time I began the drawing of a face inside out, which means I draw the facial features before I draw the oval shape. That can also be done provided your fundamentals and practical knowledge of the fundamentals is in place. I drew the eyes, nose, mustache, lips and beard. I am giving an idea of these facial features, trying to capture the essence rather than drawing too many details. I slowly build the sketch stroke by stroke calculating each stroke carefully. Measuring and applying each line. I drew a large mop of hair by some quick free sketchy strokes. Before picking the fan brush to shade the face, giving it an overall wash of grey. The decision is to give a wash to the entire portrait was spontaneous. I realized it will add volume and dimension to the entire drawing. Making it appear three-dimensional. You will have to be careful in not letting such work appear muddy. So practice lot of scribbles before moving on to drawing portraits through imagination.